Hello guys. Welcome to my video. Um, I don't know why I pointed at that, there's nothing happening. So, lately, I've been getting a lot of... you might laugh, or maybe not. I don't know, I'm not you. But you might say that I've gotten quite a few, um, Sega Genesis games lately. There it is. Yeah, I've gotten a ton of Sega Genesis games as of the last couple weeks. So essentially, for my last birthday, my uncle, huge fan, um, gave me his old Sega Genesis because what use does he have for it anymore? I mean, he figured I should have it because I may be related to him. Sadly, for about a year, it sat on my dresser. I mean, it's been here, ready to be plugged in and played, but it's been sitting on my dresser for basically a year. Actually, just about a year, I think. Um, and like I had this certain realization that I should just buy up a bunch of Sega Genesis games, and so I did. Starting in November, basically, I just decided, you know what, I'm done not playing the Sega Genesis. We're gonna buy a bunch of games. I'm repeating myself. Let's just get into it. Now, just to be clear, I had a couple of games that my uncle had given me. Um, that honestly I probably should have been playing because they're not terrible games. It's just that I mean, the most standout game that I had originally, like that came with the Genesis, was Sonic 3D Blast. But this game's too weird. I mean, I love Sonic, but like, hold on. Let me just show you why I wasn't playing this quite at all. It's funky. Um, like, it's not a badly made game as far as I can tell. It's actually pretty good looking for the hardware it's being played on. It's just not my cup of tea. um, but like, and then I had a couple of other games, like, FIFA 95, which I will say, I've been playing this recently because the old EA Sports games actually are they're kind of fun. They're pretty fun. So I've been playing FIFA 95 recently. He also gave me Vector Man 2, and I think the main reason I wasn't playing this is because I want the original first. I don't know if it really matters. I haven't researched the game much, but I've heard, and I played a little bit of it, and it was fun. I've heard it's a good Genesis game. And then Road Rash, which is a racing game, and I believe actually, I don't believe it did last through the next generation at least. I'm trying to find the other one I have. There we go. This was actually my uncle's too. Road Rash 3D. So, continued. So, I didn't play much of that one, but it's essentially a racing game on motorbikes where you beat people up. Fun. And I believe that was all. I did get Shaq Fu, like, after I got the Genesis. But I didn't really play it. I don't know why. I just didn't. And then I looked up the worst games on Wikipedia, like the worst games of all time, and that was on the list, and I didn't know it was that bad. I mean, I never played it, so I didn't know, but like, kind of interesting. At least I thought so. So, that being said, I decided that I wanted to finally get into my Genesis. I had inherited. I say inherited like he died. No, I just saw him like 2 days ago for Thanksgiving. But no, he gave me this Genesis, and I decided I wanted to use it, so I got some games for it. And I feel like I've amassed some decent titles. Hold on a minute. Sorry for that interruption that instantly skipped. Anyway, we'll go with the reason the interruption happened. My copy of Miss Pac-Man just went AWOL. I also have Miss Pac-Man. I'm not actually a fan of this game. And don't get me wrong, Miss Pac-Man itself, the game, is fine. There's nothing wrong with Miss Pac-Man, or Pac-Man, or... That's it. I'm pretty sure the other Pac-Mans are weird. But I mean, like, there's nothing inherently wrong with the game. It's the controls. This is a brand new 8-bit do controller that, I paid like $30 for. Well, I didn't. My uncle did. Because I told him to. It was my birthday. You can tell the controls are terrible, and this isn't a normal problem for this controller. Like, you know, this controller hasn't failed me. But, like, this port consistently has issues. Now, maybe I'm doing something wrong. But I'm pretty sure it's the game. Yeah, see? You're seeing this, right? I mean... And then sometimes if you hold it before you get to the edge, it'll work. But then it also doesn't sometimes. You know? So, very basic game, and it doesn't even work. I mean, I like I said, I could be doing something wrong. But what? I don't know. They're all revved up and ready to go. I hope people get that reference. Well, let's steamroll right ahead. Next up, we're going to go over some Sonic games. By that, I mean 2. Also Sonic 2. I do really enjoy Sonic 2. It's a great game. I mean, I don't really need to show you gameplay. Because, I mean, there's nothing to show. Because it's Sonic 2. It's a great game. And, I mean, everyone knows. Sonic 2 is one great game. Okay, I'm going to stop doing that. Legitimately, though, this is one of the best platforms I've ever played, if not the best. I dare say that Peak Sonic, also known as Sonic 2, was better than Peak Mario. I mean, people say that... What is Peak Mario? For me, my favorite Mario game has always been Super Mario World, the SNES game. But, I mean, I don't know if that's a popular... I think that one's, like, the highest rated. Maybe Super Mario 64. Not a fan. I mean, to be fair, I've only played the DS version. But, I mean, like, I feel like it also comes down to the fundamentals of the game. And I'm just not a fan. And then there's Super Mario 3, I'm pretty sure is a huge one. And 1. But, I mean, like, I just say Peak Sonic's better than Peak Mario. Now, has Mario had consistently better games? Of course. Sonic after the Genesis was scary, dude. Scary. Alright. Let's steamroll right ahead. Why'd I say that twice? Sonic Spinball. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why. I'm not gonna put that in. But I've always had a thing for pinball. I just like pinball, I guess. I don't really know what's up with that. I don't think Sonic Spinball has ever been the highest rated. I mean, it's kind of a forgotten game, I feel like, because it got overshadowed by the actual, like, main Sonic games. But, I have always liked pinball, so Sonic Spinball was great. And I picked this up for, like, $5, in a game store, so I figured that was a pretty good deal, and I just wanted games. I also got that with the next game I'm going to show you. I got NBA Jam Tournament Edition and Sonic Spinball together. Now, the reason I got this was kind of a personal reason. So, me and my dad, um, like to play the old Midway sports games together. And what would that include? It includes um, NBA Jam, which I had just gotten. We hadn't played that one together, but it includes NBA Jam, NBA on NBC, or NBA Showtime, NBA on NBC. Um, which, I mean, I don't know if that's the game that people talk about still. But me and Dad very much so enjoy playing that game. It's just goofy fun. And then NFL Blitz. That's what it's called, right? NFL Blitz? Yeah. Um, we like playing those games. So NBA Jam seemed like a logical step backwards because it's on the Sega Genesis. But it's still a good game. We actually played that today. I'm recording this at 1 a.m. So yesterday. My ear keeps popping. I don't know what's up with that. Anyway, we played this today, and this is Tournament Edition, so that means it's the updated roster and slight fixes. This is basically like the better version of NBA Jam on Genesis. They just updated it with a newer roster, I think. I'm not entirely sure every change they made, but it's just kind of the general agreement online is from what I looked up. And then the next game is a game I got with Miss Pac-Man and Sonic. TMNT Tournament Fighters. I gotta be honest, this game, the only reason I had heard of it, oh my gosh, my ear keeps popping. The only reason I had heard of this game really is because of, what is that game called? I believe it is called, as per usual, whenever I'm trying to find something to show you, I can't find it. But I was referring to TMNT Cowabunga Collection. It's on Xbox One Series X. And it's basically all the old Konami fighting games. Old Konami TMNT games, I should say. And 3 ports of, maybe 4, honestly. I'm not sure how many there were. 3 or 4 ports of TMNT Tournament Fighters, which I'd never even heard of, were on there. And, I played it on there. Didn't like it. And then I saw this, and gotta be honest, this was in an eBay lot. And I mostly wanted Sonic 2. But, I mean, I was fine with having these two. Especially, like, they were all games I'd heard of and wanted to play. So it doesn't really matter. Less so this one, but, like, still nice to have. Anyway, played it on Genesis. Didn't like it. I don't know what it is. 2D Sonic, or not 2D Sonic games, 2D fighting games, I don't like. I don't know what it is, because isn't that the classic age of fighting games? I mean, there's Tournament Fighters, which I'll turn on for you real quick. Whoops. I mean, there's this game, there's Street Fighter 2. Look at that. I didn't even get a single hit. I mean, it's just too difficult. There's this game, and then there's Street Fighter 2, which I will also turn on. By the way, this is a Japanese copy. Just thought that was kind of interesting. It says Super Famicom on it. It's obviously a Famicom cartridge. I mostly got this game because it was one. I just wanted to, have one to experience it. And it was at a local game store. Keep in mind, not in Japan. Here. Don't know how it got here. But I digress. Also, I have to run this stuff through a VCR. Now, I don't have to run the retro bit through a VCR, and that's basically an NES on a chip system, because I'm cheap. But it's basically an NES on a chip system. And then my Genesis, which is the original actually, has an RF port. only, so I use the VCR to just use as a central hub for the two. Just to compact, so I don't have to have three power plugs on my, or three AV plugs on there, Yeah, we'll go ahead and turn that off. There we go. We're done. We're done with you. And then the next three are three games I got just the other day. First of all, Madden 94. Yeah, I know. 30 years. Isn't that wild? 30 years since the first Madden game? Something to chew on. Like a bad steak. Madden 94. I really enjoyed the old EA Sports games. Well, I enjoyed FIFA, like I said earlier. And then I was like, you know what? I need another one. So, we got Madden 94, which is still playable by today's standards. I just don't know what to do. I'm not very good at Madden. Also known as I've played it once. I digress. Yeah, we got Madden 94. Not much to talk about. NHL 96. My friends who are watching this video would know that I am dangerous. Literally dangerous in floor hockey, in PE. Not on purpose, to be clear. I don't mean to hurt people, but I accidentally stumbled into someone, and I felt bad for it. But I am scary in floor hockey, as described by nearly every classmate of mine. So, in honor of that, and also because I want EA sports games from the Genesis, I decided to get NHL 96. This was probably the cheapest copy I could find. I mean, I'm pretty broke. But yeah, we got that. And then, Pitfall Mayan Adventure. I don't know anything about this game. I played it for a couple minutes and decided to try the other ones just to make sure they worked. All I know about this is that it's a Pitfall game, and Pitfall was super huge on the Atari 2600, which I actually made a video about that 2 days ago. You should go check it out after this. Not requiring it, just you should. It's fun. But I want an Atari 2600 Plus, so I figured Pitfall is one of the biggest games on the 2600. May as well try one of the offspring. Anyway, that's all the games we got. Out of all of them, I have played, well, out of all the games I have bought as of recent, I have played Sonic 2, Sonic Spinball, and it's probably the third most played. Third most played would be probably NHL 96. Out of all the, like I said, out of all the games I've gotten recently. And then total gameplay, I'd say, is probably Sonic Spinball, Sonic 2, and FIFA 95 out of just all the games I've played the most on Genesis. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and go about your day knowing that I have Sega Genesis games, because I have no life, and if I didn't have this hobby, I would be a rich man. I need to invest in stocks.